everybody. Okay, so it is Saturday. In this video, I am telling you guys about the next leg of my journey. And this part is about the editor. My, real, actual experiences, finally. I got the first round of edits back. And they are the editor's notations on my manuscript for the developmental part. Because I purchased the whole thing, everything, all the things that she offered. Please help me fix this whole mess. For writers out there who haven't done this before, who are kind of looking for insight into this part, that's what this video is about. I'm gonna share with you what's going on with me, so you have an idea of what to expect when you do it. So, when I was kind of hunting for editors, and there's a lot out there that are new, that don't really know what they're doing, and that's fine. You gotta start somewhere, but not everybody's gonna be compatible with you as a writer. I forget that, not even you as a writer, but you as a person. Some editors can be kind of harsh, and that works for a lot of people. It's constructive and it can be kind of brutal, but sometimes people need that. I do not. I get my feelings hurt pretty easily. That's just how I am. I know it's bad. I know I need to not be like that, but I am like that, and that's just kind of okay. So it was very important to me that when I searched for an editor, I went with people who provided sample edits. And a lot of them do. Start this search with people who will give you a free edit of your first chapter, or if you don't have chapters, usually they'll start with several thousand words or something, and that's really critical, because you need to see their notations. You need to see how they think in the way that they critique, because if it is not compatible with you, what happens is you get very deflated, and instead of being encouraged to get back to work and to fix these things, you just kind of sit there and you're like, oh crap, I suck. Wow, this is worse than I thought. And that's not good. So, shop around, get some of these sample edits, and find somebody who is, right for you as a person, whose feedback is helpful and constructive in a sense that you need it to be, and also that's good, that has good advice. Not all editors are equal. I also want to go over the differences in the types of editors that, the services that they offer. The first round of notations that I received was for the developmental edit. And that means it's not so much correcting little grammar mistakes and spelling. It's kind of the story as a whole, oh hey, there's an issue with character motivation here that doesn't make sense, and therefore when this thing happens after it, that's kind of weak. It doesn't really make sense. And you should fix that. And that's crucial. Like, I honestly think that is just as important, if not more so, than having somebody take care of, like, you know, the grammar and the line editing and stuff. Because if your story sucks, like, your story sucks. And you don't want that. Also, in the same vein of that, you may have seen something called alpha reading. Some people do alpha reading services, and that's a lot like developmental editing, where the focus is on, like, the story. But with your alpha reader, things become more collaborative, I guess, is a good word for it. Because you send them something that's really rough. Like, you don't want to send your alpha reader something that's like, okay, this is my, like, finished manuscript, go through it and, you know, find weak spots. You're sending them like a really, like, first draft, like the beginning of an idea, and they are there to help you kind of shape that into something strong. So there's a lot of collaboration there. Alpha reading can be very expensive, and that's you know, I think the best way to use it is when you have like a portion of your story, maybe like a few chapters or something that you just can't really get going. So that's sort of similar, also like a developmental thing, but different. You have, like, the proofreading and the line editing, and that's more for your, like, catching mistakes in spelling and syntax and, you know, the way you use your punctuation and your grammar. That's what that's for. So don't get that done when you really mean to be getting developmental stuff done. Know the difference, like, before you go shopping. So, there's also beta reading, and a lot of people depend on, like, friends and stuff for that. I have some friends who are doing it, but I've also sought out, like, a paid beta reader. And what they do is they read as a reader, you know, and they take notes so that you can see, like, their thoughts as a reader. Like, oh, hey, wow, this character's really great, like, I'm really interested in their story. Or, oh, hey, this didn't really make a lot of sense to me. You know, it's you know, and those notes are very important. So, I found it worth paying for a professional beta reader. You know, because friends are great. They're amazing, and it's really good to have their feedback as well. But sometimes they, if they don't do this professionally, they are not going to be able to articulate everything in a way that you as a writer can digest and use. So, beta reading is typically not super expensive. My beta reader, she's amazing. I paid like $1 per 1,000 words. I think her price has changed since then, but you know, that's what I paid, and that's awesome because, you know, I sent her like 150,000 words, so it was about $150, and that's very affordable to just like have somebody read it in a few weeks and give you like crucial feedback. So I recommend that. You know, if you can't afford an editor, like, at the very least, invest in a professional beta reader. So anyway, my experience with the editor, receiving, you know, these notations back, has been like a whirlwind of emotions. It's been really exciting. You still feel like that initial like pit in your stomach. Like, I don't want things to be worse than I thought they were. I try to expect things to lessen the impact. And it was great because everything that she found, all the kind of like weak points, all of her suggestions, they were all things that I knew were problems. So there wasn't anything new and terrible that she had put on me, like, oh, hey, by the way, like, this thing that you thought was great is actually awful. That didn't happen, so that's all I wanted. She had great feedback, and I can't stress it enough that you need to find somebody whose feedback is encouraging and is not, like, you want to be excited about digging back into your work after you get these edits. These notes. That's what you want. That's what you really need. You don't want to waste time trying to pick yourself back up after you get these. And some people are very critical and can really cut you down. And if that's not something that you can handle, make sure that's not what you get. But at the same time, you do want someone who is going to help you recognize these things. Like, you don't want someone who's going to sugarcoat things so much that you just don't think these things are a problem. I also have a free 1-hour consultation with my editor, Amanda, that I'm going to use. I've got some ideas, but I want to kind of bounce them around with her. Find out maybe like when the best time to introduce these changes that will kind of tie things together and fix things would be. So that's been my experience so far. My editor, Amanda Edens, is incredible. She's great. I love her. And I do recommend her at this point. I know she's super busy. So I don't know how much more she's willing to take on, but she's great. She's great. And I really hope that you, when it is time for you to go through this editing stuff, that the professional that you hire gives you results that are just as good, if not better. Be careful, okay? Be careful, be thorough, find someone that is compatible with you. And that's that, yeah. So, have a great rest of your Saturday, guys. Have an awesome week. I go on vacation next week. Woo! So, you may not be hearing from me. What else is new? And that's it. That's it, guys. Bye.